name is Puteri AMALINA Anis, and the other members is FATIMAH RABI'AH, Aini, and also NURIN JAZLINA.
The operating system is a complex and extensive system responsible for managing software and hardware resources. In the real world, numerous malicious activities and issues pose significant threats to the system servers and networks. For instance, unauthorized access, malware attacks, data leakage, and denial of service. These threats, often perpetrated by individuals or groups with malicious intent, particularly targeting large companies due to their valuable data and resources.
So let's move to the first security issues, which is unauthorized access. What is unauthorized access? So unauthorized access happens when someone enters a computer system, website, or account without being allowed to. This could be a hacker breaking into a company's network to steal information, or a person using another person's login details without permission. It is a serious security problem because it can lead to the loss of personal data, money, or even harm to business. How unauthorized access happens? For the first one is brute force attack. Hacker will guessing password until they get in, often because passwords are weak. For example, is user use password 12345. And the second one is phishing attack, which is hacker will give you a fake emails or message trick people into giving their password or clicking harmful links. For the last one is social engineering, which is hacker will tricking people by pretending to be someone they trust, like a bank worker. How to stop unauthorized access? First one, you have to use strong password, which is you have to mix letters, numbers, and symbols. And the second one is be careful with emails. Don't click on suspicious links or share your password to anyone. And the third one is you have to turn on two-factor authentication, which is you have password and also phone code. And the last one is you have to use your device or mobile phone to keep system update and check for strange activity.
Malware is a short for malicious software. It refers to software intentionally designed to harm or damage computer system, network, or their users without the user knowledge. Malware poses a significant challenge in modern cybersecurity because it can steal sensitive information, damage files, and completely disrupt an organization's operation. Malware is usually spread through deceptive methods such as fake emails, malicious downloads, or exploiting vulnerabilities in operating system or software. Now, let's look at some common types of malware attacks. The first one is viruses. A virus is a malicious executable code attached to another executable file or program. It spreads when those files are opened by the user. Once it was active, it can cause a significant harm such as deleting or corrupting important data. Viruses were initially created as an experiment but have evolved into tools for organized crime, often used for financial gain and data theft. Next, we have Trojan horse. Trojan horse is a type of malicious software or file that disguises itself as a legitimate application to deceive users. Trojan horse cannot self-replicate or spread independently. They require the users to take a specific action such as downloading or installing the file. Trojans are particularly dangerous because they can often bypass security by appearing trustworthy, gaining more access than necessary, and cause widespread harm. Another type of malware attacks is worm. Worms are a type of malware that spread independently across network, exploiting vulnerabilities without requiring any user interaction. They consume network resources, which can lead to slowdown or even crash the entire system. This type of malware can quickly overwhelm network, making worms particularly destructive. Moving on, there is a lot of ways to prevent malware attacks. One of them is by install and use antivirus software. These tools scan systems for malicious files, programs, or activities. They block threats before they can cause any harm. By regularly updating antivirus software, it can stay effective against new and emerging malware threats. Next, You can use firewalls to protect your network. Firewalls create a barrier between a trusted internal network and external network, such as the internet. They monitor and control incoming and outgoing traffic based on predefined security rules. Firewalls block malicious data before it can reach your system. By preventing unauthorized access and filtering harmful traffic, firewalls plays a critical role in safeguarding your network. Lastly, you should always backup your data regularly. Regularly backing up important files ensure that user can recover their data even if it is encrypted or deleted by malware. You can use external drive or cloud storage to store backups. Keep backups secure and disconnected from the main system to prevent them from being affected by the same attack. Reliable backups are a key strategy for minimizing the impact of ransomware and other destructive malware attacks.
Data leakage is a condition that occurs when private, sensitive, and protected data is accidentally or unintentionally transferred from a system to an outside party or location. This can happen for several reasons, such as intent to harm, human error, or system weaknesses. As it can reveal financial, intellectual property, or personal information, data leakage are a serious security risk that can result in negative outcomes, like monetary losses, harm to one's reputation, and legal complications. Next is how data leakage impacts to the operating system. The first impact is compromised security. It happens when sensitive information like password or encryption keys is leaked. Attackers can gain unauthorized access to the system. This can lead to harmful actions such as installing malware, stealing data, or changing important system settings, which putting the system at risk. The second impact is performance degradation. Data leaks can lead to attacks that flood the system with unwanted traffic or harmful software. This uses up system resources, causing slowdown, crashes, and reducing the system overall performance, which can affect important operations. The last impact is vulnerability exploitation. Data leaks can reveal weaknesses in the system, allowing attackers to take advantage of them. As these flaws are targeted, the system becomes less stable and harder to protect, making it more vulnerable to further attacks. Next is ways to prevent data leakage. There are 3 ways, and the first one is implement access control. This can be done by restricting data access based on roles and responsibilities, ensures that only authorized personnel can access sensitive information. For example, role-based access control (RBAC) can be applied because it limits vulnerability by enabling companies to assign access based on job roles. Next is encrypt sensitive data. Encryption converts data into unreadable code that requires a description key to access. It guarantees that without the description key, data will remain unusable even if it is intercepted during transit or stolen from storage. The last is regular software updates. Vulnerabilities in outdated software are frequently exploited by hackers to obtain unauthorized access. Repairing this issue quickly is ensured by regularly updating firmware, operating system, and apps.
For the next security issues, denial of service. Denial of service, or DOS, is a type of cyber attack where a malicious actor, like a person or a group of people, takes part in an action that is intended to cause harm to a cyber domain like computers, system, devices, server, or network. This type of attack starts with the overwhelming flood of illegitimate requests, traffic, or exploiting vulnerabilities and various weaknesses in computer network technologies that trigger and lead to the whole system crash. When this type of situation happens, legitimate users cannot access the information system or network resources due to the malicious actions. This cybercriminal often targets websites, personal accounts, servers, and other services to disrupt the normal functioning of the system itself. How denial of service impact the operating system? First, resource exhaustion. Resource exhaustion is when a system or system user uses up all available resources that the system must make unavailable or unusable, leading it to be completely drained. This usually happens when the system fails to limit the number of resources that can be accessed at a given time, which leads to the system being vulnerable to this attack. There are many signs to detect whether the system is having resource exhaustions like slow boot times and being unresponsive. The second, service disruption. Service disruption occurs when a system is unable to work and perform its operation normally, which prevents user from accessing device due to the system crash. Service disruption can also be resulted from hardware and software failures. The third one, system instability. An unstable system refers to a system that is difficult to control due to its unpredictable response. This is often caused by a corrupted or faulty operating system and faulty hardware. Common DOS attack that can cause system instability is by overloading the CPU, which prevents the CPU by making progress on process execution. For the solution to the problem, the first one we have rate limiting. Rate limiting is a technique to limit the network traffic and prevent attacks that can overwhelm the system by controlling the rate of the requests made in order to maintain the system stability. When the limit is reached, any further requests are blocked until the next window time begins. For the second solution, we have IP filtering or blocking. This is a method of controlling network access by allowing or blocking data packets based on their IP address. This method works by comparing incoming network traffic to a list of blocked IP addresses. If the IP address matches with the blocked IP address, the network device will block the traffic. For the last solution is to use a firewall. Firewall works by filtering and monitoring data packets that travel through the network. It will compare the traffic to the predefined security rules, preventing anything that looks suspicious from getting through. Firewall can be either hardware or software that protect the system by applying traffic limit and logging events related to the attack.
In conclusion, protecting system and data is essential to prevent security threats like DOS attacks, malware, unauthorized access, and data leaks. These threats can cause major problems like losing money, private information, or trust. Simple actions such as using strong password, enabling two-factor authentication, updating software regularly, and being careful with suspicious links or emails can help. Business and individuals should also use tools like firewalls, IP filtering, and advanced protection systems to stop attacks. Everyone has a role in staying alert and practicing good security to keep the digital world safe and reliable.